hate that we have to, for you and your family, relive, obviously, what happened on that fateful day to your beautiful young daughter, Meadow. But here we are again, and here we are again learning that the FBI had this guy, and pardon this pun, in their crosshairs over a year ago. And if I recall, the Parkland shooter was also visited by local authorities, and the FBI was alerted months before he shot. And this isn't the first or second time we've heard about law enforcement approaching these young, disturbed individuals and then letting them go, not keeping them in the radar, and then a shooting occurs. I just want to hear your thoughts the minute you heard this yesterday.
Sure. First, I want to reiterate what you said about when a parent has a child that's murdered or dies in any situation. Yeah. They are never the same, Dan. You know, a big chunk of my heart and soul has been ripped out of my chest since that day in 2018, February 14th. So I'm never the same. And the same thing's going to happen to these families from Georgia. So it's really a terrible, tragic situation.
I saw an old interview with Kamala Harris where she was literally saying she wants to get rid of resource officers in schools because she thinks that the position is inherently racist, that resource officers go more after black and brown students for small infractions. And if she becomes president, this was back in 2020 when she was running, she would get rid of resource officers. Who did the young man surrender to yesterday, by the way? Wasn't it an armed resource officer?
She also called it a military zone, if you watch that video,
right.
About schools with resource officers. And you know what? I sent that message to President Trump, Dan, that video of her, and he should hammer her if they ever have a debate on saying she's going to remove police officers from schools. It's ridiculous. And if any parent that's out there would send their child to a school without a resource officer or undercover, it's really on them. You know, it's 2024, Dan. You have to know what's going on in these schools, and the children need to be protected. Just like, you know, the judges and in courtrooms, they're all protected.
Right.
Why should we leave our students, why should we leave our children unprotected? But this is what the Democrats want. They call it a military zone. What a disgrace they are.